Welcome YouTubers, welcome to episode 4 of my Full Sail recap blog, though it's episode 4 of my Full Sail vlog within itself. Alright, so in this episode I'm going to be talking to you about the courses Creative Skills and Development as well as Behavioral Science. I don't have much to say about Behavioral Science, only because I'll get to it when I get there. So alright, Creative Skills and Development, basically, you know, from its description, it basically talks about, you know, discovering new methods to overcome writer's block, brainstorming techniques, drawing inspiration from the world around you, and students will learn to spark and maintain their creative flow in this particular course. They also have a journal and various other things. So in this particular class, it was alright, it wasn't too bad within itself. You know, I had a dialogue story that we had to do. Basically, we wrote a bunch of dialogue. I personally felt that it was kind of retarded. Not really the idea or the concept behind it, just the idea and concept of a story that focused on nothing but dialogue. That's what I found retarded. I understand why they did it, and that was to get us, you know, better acquainted or used to writing dialogue. So it was a very good assignment within itself, but the practicality behind it I thought was really retarded, and I couldn't see myself writing literally a story that just contained dialogue. We also had to write a story that actually only contained about 30 words or less, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been 25 or 30 words or less. And I don't really see this in a practical form. Apparently it's very popular with some people. I didn't really care for it. Actually, I found it relatively hard within itself because basically you need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end in a single sentence. It was something that I didn't care for. I mean, I understand the concept and why they ultimately had us do it. Again, learning experience and whatnot. But overall, practicality, it's not something that I would do and or use. I also had to write a screenplay in this particular class as well, and I did mine on Vegas luck. And the instructor said that basically the situation, the event that actually took place within my screenplay was impossible. And I thought that was relatively retarded, simply because I'm the type of person that thinks that, you know, nothing is impossible, it's just improbable. So the scenario that I gave within my 5 or 4 minute screenplay, which I called Vegas luck, henceforth why the word luck was in there, it basically goes toward probability. The probability of it happening is totally possible, but it's improbable that it would happen because, you know, there's a percentage and, yeah, getting into math and whatnot. We also had a journal that we had to write. You know, I think it was either once a week or twice a week we had to write in this little journal. And basically it was like an online discussion, like a message board type thing. Overall, it was a decent class. I did enjoy it for what it was worth. We got to do some writing, and that's the whole point of my particular course that I'm taking is creative writing and entertainment. And I really like the classes that actually have me write something instead of something that's relatively, you know, Alright, so now moving on to the next one, we actually go to behavioral science. I did not really care for this class within itself. I didn't even care for the instructor. Quite frankly, I thought she was a little bit of a witch. And the only reason being is not only in this class did I have an issue with the instructor herself, I also had a bit of an issue with one of the classmates. You know that old saying, just because you're older doesn't mean you're wiser, just because you're younger doesn't mean you're smarter. I'm very aware of those, but this was a scenario of where we had another student who was older than me and thought they were clearly wiser to the not. But when you actually thought about what they were saying and what they were discussing and trying to go after, I basically criticized a book. This isn't the book, but I criticized a book that was sent to us as course material, and I didn't care for it. And I made this apparent in a general discussion, and a student actually basically in a non, let's see, metaphorical way basically slapped it back at me that basically I'm an idiot. And it's like, how can I be an idiot for my own opinion? I mean, that'd be like you saying that you like said movie and I basically insult you for liking the movie, saying you have no taste in movies. But my taste is completely different than your taste. As opposed to the instructor, this was also a class that I felt had a lot of useless assignments. There was assignment that was basically just like fan fiction. You had to pick like a famous person and write a story. I didn't care for it. I thought it was fan fiction. I did not, sign up for a degree to learn how to write fan fiction. I basically signed up to, better improve my writing skills, not to write fan fiction. I mean, I don't care if it's there to improve my skills or not. It's not anything that I could practically use in a portfolio. So overall, behavioral science, I did not care for the course within itself. There was too many problems. I didn't care for most of the assignments. I thought they were mundane. They didn't really add to the overall course within itself. And overall, I thought the instructor was extremely high on herself, basically alliterating that, she's the genius because she has a degree or whatever, that she knows what she's talking about, which in reality she doesn't completely. I mean, there's a fine line between your opinion and facts. And this was a scenario where she thought her opinion was greater than the facts, apparently. So those are my quick thoughts on the creative skills development class and the behavioral science class. Overall, another thing, like going back into the descriptions, this is a class, behavioral science, to where it's like most of the assignments that was given, I was like, all right, what does this have to do with behavioral science? This is like, so not only is there descriptions, but I think some of their courses are named incorrectly as well, and it just doesn't make sense with some of the assignments they give you. So this was my quick thoughts on, 2 or more classes or courses within Full Sail University Creative Writing for Entertainment bachelor's degree.